Well, hello, true gardeners. So in today's video, I want to share with you guys what I find seems to be one of the biggest mistakes that I see homeowners make over and over again. Coming in as a landscape professional, there's so many times that I see where a client has put together a beautiful garden. They've gotten all of their favorite material and they put it into one place. However, they're missing some key essential things because when they look back at it, they're like, I like it, I love the plants, there's just something missing there. That's kind of what brings me into the picture. As I walk through the garden, I share with my clients, this is kind of missing this or missing that. Let's create the full landscape picture. Let's use what you've got, but incorporate some of the key things that are going to take this landscape from nice to awesome, to amazing, to this is what I wanted all along. The very first thing that I noticed that was missing was the structure in the garden. It had a lot of that same material, a lot of beautiful bromeliads, a lot of great accents, but no real anchor points. That's kind of where I always start. To me, that's the foundation of the garden. That's where everything, the framework comes in. So in this particular case, I felt like we were missing some taller impact. We're missing some frame trees coming up the front. We had some beautiful sables here that were part of the original landscaping, but they were so far and above your eye line that they kind of got lost. They started to become just kind of bean poles in the garden. Your eye just didn't go up to them any longer because there was only low material and very tall. What we were missing was some of those features that kind of brought your eye level right in, really started anchoring with the house. So we brought in 3 single foxtail palms at main anchor points, one in the far corner and then 2 flanking the driveway, leaving us one nice feature tree here. This is a very young triple foxtail palm. It's going to do a great job of being an intermediate trees to these sable palms as it grows in and really fills in this spot. The 3 single trees that I chose were about 15 foot tall. This triple here is around 9-10 foot tall. What your average size is for a triple foxtail palm. Now you can use, depending on your location, you can use such a different variety of trees. You can use Montgomery palms if you want some more slender palm trees rather than foxtails. You can use queen palms if you don't mind that they're not self-shedding, if they're not self-cleaning and you have to trim them. Perfect for those of you guys up north. Sylvesters are another thing that you can use. Again, not self-cleaning, but it is a tree that you can use up north in the 9B, 9A region. If you like this kind of look and you kind of have a bigger, maybe a 2-story house and want more impact, royal palms are fabulous on the corners of houses. Just got to push them aside a little bit, push them out a little bit away from the home. My favorite to use is foxtails. I love how slow foxtail palms grow. I love how self-cleaning they are. And I love that, I just like that overall poofy head to them with that nice clean trunk. So they're one of my favorite palms to use, as you guys know.
Hey you guys, Bryce here. I just wanted to pop this in real quick and ask if you could like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps show your support and keep these videos going. Also, if you're enjoying the video, please drop a true gardener in the comments. And if you're looking for any help with designing your space, or you have some questions, or you want a master plan created, or you even want a design and installation done, head over to our website. We have 3 short videos that break down our 3 services so you can see which option works best for you. In those videos, we'll go over pricing and locations for the state of Florida. And if you're looking for any products mentioned in this video, we have a link that takes you directly to our Amazon storefront where you should be able to find everything. And also, if you're looking to build your own plant palette, we also have a link that takes you to our book that helps walk you through designing your own space. Thanks so much for your support, and let's get back to the video.
One of the next things on my checklist is if I've got my anchor trees in place, the next thing you're looking for is your layering material. You want to make sure that you bring in enough material that gives you height in the back and then works your way forward. And you're going to do that with mixing contrast, a plant leaf, and height. And this is kind of what we did just here. This area was originally just a mass of bromeliads, which gave you kind of no real distinction. It was just kind of one big large grouping of one type of thing. Kind of like when you're looking in your pantry. You open the doors, and if it's all soup cans, it's hard for your eye to just kind of realize what you're looking for. If there's, cereal boxes here and there's ketchup here, there's syrup here, your eye can rest on those things to quickly identify what you're looking for. But you want to make sure that you're bringing in different textures and different heights. That's what brings that landscape together. So the first thing that we started with are these crotons to the back. I love these curly dwarf mammy yellow crotons. They're called the curly boys, and they're just so cool. They're just such a nice compact croton. Now you can use sloppy painters if you like in this particular area. I just kind of wanted to keep things a little bit slower growing, a little bit lower maintenance here, and these guys grow at a much slower rate. They're in front of this window, so I kind of wanted just to make sure that we had some dense, thick plantings with a pop of bright color, and these guys are going to do the trick right here with no problem. I love the way they look. And then you can tell, that's where the contrast starts really coming together. So you got this curly, beautiful, shiny leaf here. Now we're coming into something exactly the opposite, from small to colorful to dark in coloration with the Rojo Congos. This contrast alone, if you only had to do 2 contrasts, this is so beautiful to me. I love the mix. It becomes almost like a line in the garden, you know, this dark, dark contrast with this light, light coloring. And then we do it again with another. So we're gonna keep a similar texture in leaf, but we're gonna do it with a lighter tone in plant. So these Aglaonemas, these Silver Bay Aglaonemas, will get that bright tone, that light coloring against these Congo plants. And that's where your contrast comes in. And layering and contrast in the landscape world are the same thing. Whether you're doing it with height or you're doing it with color and texture and leaf changes, those are all the same type of jazzing it up. I just want to make sure that, of course, and you guys know this, I always stress this, whatever you have in the front doesn't outgrow what's in the back. So that's kind of the goal. These Silver Bays are not going to compete with the height of these Rojo Congos, and these Rojo Congos are not going to compete with the height of these banana leaf crotons back here. All right, then we have a little clustering because we have a tidbit more shade right in this particular spot. So we have a nice little collection of Farfugiums. These Farfugiums are gonna do a fantastic job of taking the sharpness away from this bromeliad right here. This bromeliad has a beautiful sprawling character, gorgeous, vibrant color. It's absolutely stunning, gonna be a perfect anchor piece for this corner over here. But when you have something like that, and if you have the room or you have the shade, back it with something that's gonna have a giant lily pad leaf like this. It could be a Philodendron Saloon. It could be dwarf alocasia. It could be Farfugium. It could be any of those things that are going to really give you the biggest contrast, because this is a very small space right here. It's not like we could layer in a bunch of material right in this spot. So just these 2 combination of plants is really going to show off from the street. Right now you don't quite see it because these are still babies, but imagine these at 4 foot, around 3.5 foot tall like they get, and 3 to 4 foot wide as they get. It's really going to do a nice job of becoming a beautiful backdrop to this corner piece right here. Then we take it into that next tier. Now we have a little bit more sun here, so we got to play with that a little bit. So we brought in some golden dews. We have a nice thick grouping. It's kind of a drift here. You can see I've kind of got a staggered where it starts at a curve right there at the boulder, comes forward of the boulder, then starts to curve back this way. Just really giving you a nice soft drift and it really giving a highlight to this front bed. Then we've got nice little anchors of holly ferns. We've got a little clustering right here in front of the boulder. That's just to bring your attention to it, just to give your eye a place to rest. And then we've got another little collection of holly fern right by this boulder to have a rinse and repeat fashion going on. And then we come to the jewelry of the landscape. This is what the homeowner originally had. She had a beautiful collection of bromeliads, a nice variety, and they were just absolutely stunning. We took out several and reincorporated them into other areas of the garden, thickened them up in other areas of the garden, so that way we had a cohesive plan where we wanted bromeliads. Along this walkway, we have a nice collection of bromeliads here, and then we have it right there on the corner. But we've taken it and contrasted the material with big leafy tropicals in between. So that way we have kind of a seamless transition, but we don't have like such a mass grouping. They're actually doing what they're meant to be doing. They are the lipstick and mascara of this whole landscape, and that was their goal. Letting this be the meaty part, letting the palm trees be that anchor piece. Oh, and I don't know how I forgot to mention a little bit of that depth that we didn't have here. I chose pygmidate palms to really tie in. So we've got 4 in this particular bed, 2 here and 2 there. And you guys know that pygmidate palms, I use them so commonly to tie into my foundation trees, my big trees, because what happens is they give you that 4 or 5 foot of coverage as your foxtails are small, and they layer up with your foxtails. So they'll go all the way up into that 10 to 12 foot range and be a supportive tree. That's kind of their goal in life. And in areas, if you guys need to like create a little bit of shade, pygmidate palms are phenomenal for that purpose because they have such great branching. If you love those tropical things like Farfugiums and Rojo Congos, you may need to pop a pygmidate palm in there to give you a little bit of an umbrella feel, so you can add and incorporate those plants to make that happen. So they're a perfect supportive tree tree for that matter. And they also give you that depth of 4 or 5 foot right off the bat. So the thing that I really want to get across in today's video is that, you can pick a lot of your material, a lot of the things that you absolutely love, and then you could put all your budget into that and then get it home, get it planted, and just feel like it's still lackluster, feel like there's just still something missing. And I see that so very often. Is kind of why I wanted to stress that in today's video. I love this garden. I love the way it came together. And I think that once we started implementing those layers, those plants and trees, those big leaf material, and then reworked the original landscape, the original plantings to suit exactly, I think, what Cindy was trying to tie in right from the beginning. We definitely didn't want to lose her bromeliad collection. She had a gorgeous collection, as I mentioned. But what we wanted to do is we wanted to find the right home for it. And the right home for it was a C here, just a beautiful collection of neos. And then we've got a C right at the front entrance of the driveway. And then we did it again with that front section of the driveway there. So we have key areas where we chose to collect them as a group, and then brought in that contrasting leaf texture of, whatever that might be for you guys. For you guys, it may be you've got a mass grouping of blooming plants and you just love the way it looks, but maybe it's missing some of that intermediate depth. Maybe it needs something vertical going in there, or maybe it needs something dark green to sweep around there with a completely different leaf. That's gonna take your plants and it's just gonna put them on steroids. It's gonna put that whole look together. And I think if I could stress that enough, because that's kind of what I come in to see a lot in gardens. I come in and I'm like, I like my plants, I don't wanna lose them, but I'm not really sure what direction to go in. And that's why, when you have a landscape designer, the very first thing that we look at is we're like, okay, the structure is missing. We need to find a place to put the structure. We need to find a place to make all this make sense. It's the walls of the garden. So you bring that in, and then now you've got scale. So you've really created that. Then you take those favorites and you put them in key areas where they shine. You put those in key areas, because most of the time favorites are the pricey things in the garden. Those are the things that can be expensive. So you want to put those all together where they really highlight the possible best scenario for you. And then you bring in, and this could be some of your lesser expensive things, or it could be, a completely different look for you. Maybe you've got a sunny spot over there and you've got variegation everywhere, but now you need blooms to tie in that variegation, or you need dark greens to tie in that variegation. I hope that comes across and I hope that makes sense, but those are the steps that I follow when I first get to a home and I look at a space and I set back. And I'm fortunate in a way because I don't have any initial ties to the space. I've not been looking at this for years like a lot of my clients, or maybe I've not put the project together, so I don't have any real connection to it yet. Now, when I'm looking at it with fresh eyes. And I'm like thinking musical chairs right here. Okay, I'm gonna take this and put this here and put that there, and I'm gonna rework this, and then I'm gonna incorporate this. And voila, now we have a garden that really kind of pulls everything together. And I think that is the biggest difference between when I see gardens from new DIYers versus people who've had some gardening experience, people who maybe are landscape designers like myself, or you landscape designers out there who are watching. You guys know, you're like, I know what's missing there. And sometimes it is not the most expensive thing in the garden. Sometimes that has already been created for you. All right, so I hope that helps so many of you guys look at your space a little bit differently and say, I've got it now. I know what's missing, and you're gonna work those things in. For those of you guys who are needing a little bit more information on the leveling and layers and whatnot, I did a level video of kind of how I break things down, and I will pop it right here. Check that video out. It goes into so much detail about how I take and do my steps through every single garden that I work in. Thank you guys so much for visiting with Bryce and I today. Take care.